Right, Vagina. Let's talk about options. We've already acknowledged that it happens. It essentially happens to every woman that lives long enough to go through menopause, which is secondary to a decline in the estrogen levels. Now, how symptomatic a woman becomes is variable. The second thing that we discussed is that this is not a reflection, a negative reflection on any woman. She's transitioned to another stage in life. It is a reality, and how she chooses to deal with it is her own personal decision. We're going to spend a few moments just discussing some options. This is going to be two-part. This first part will discuss options that women can pretty much use at will. They are not long-term or long-sustaining solutions, but they are sometimes enough to make the situation better, particularly if this is a woman who's choosing to engage in vaginal penetration, vaginal sex. So let's begin with one that we've all heard of, moisturizers and lubricants. They serve really two different purposes. A moisturizer is something that you would apply on a regular daily or nightly routine. A lubricant is what you would use in addition to a moisturizer. A lubricant would be used primarily at the time of sexual activity. So you have moisturizers and lubricants, and there is a variety of choices. I don't choose to promote any one because one isn't necessarily better than the other. And so I would suggest women to experiment with it. Create your own spa day or loving myself day and try to see which works best for you. These lubricants can be bought in your local pharmacy, CVS. They can be purchased online. They're everywhere. The next option that's often suggested is oils. You have coconut oil. You have almond oil. And yes, these can be used, and some women truly enjoy it, and they incorporate these as a daily routine and part of their sex play. One of the problems with oils is that they can get on to bedding, and that can be a problem, or people get very creative in how they use it, and so it is not a deterrent to use. There are other products on Amazon and online that women can avail themselves of. Some are very cheap, some are pricey. Nothing is superior to the other. It truly is a personal preference. Now, another possibility that women have explored, that there have been some reports of benefit, is using vitamin D oil capsules, and applying that to their vaginal area. Women have found this to be sufficient. And again, every item that I've mentioned here, the lubricants, the moisturizers, pretty much get mixed reviews, and they're primarily for use for women who are just beginning to appreciate that things just don't feel the same. The pleasure's not quite there. And there are two changes that we need to talk about. There's the dryness, and the dryness is usually related to the skin on the outside, but there's another problem that women sometimes don't mention, and that's penetration becomes more difficult. Things just aren't as elastic as they used to be. They don't stretch as easily. Insertion can become more painful. And for that, there is a different remedy. It's not so much the oil. If the problem is vaginal penetration or feeling that tightness and constriction, for that woman, the suggestion is that she invest in vaginal dilators. Vaginal dilators help to keep the vagina expanded. You know, the adage, use it or lose it, pretty much applies in this situation. Regular stretching, dilation of the vaginal introitus will keep a woman from experiencing that tightening and constriction. And so this is something to keep in mind, that not only will you benefit potentially from a moisturizer or lubricant, but you may also benefit from vaginal dilators. Where can you find vaginal dilators? Again, online, or you can ask your gynecologist. More than likely, they will have a reference. But again, there's no brand better than the other. They all serve the same purpose. They may look different. They may be made out of different materials, but essentially the goal is the same, to help to stretch the vaginal opening. There's a third possibility. It's called yoni eggs, small yoni eggs that have been placed into the vagina during sexual activity. Women have reported that this helps to increase the vaginal moisture. Now, you have to be comfortable with what a yoni egg is, and that's YONI. The application, how you apply it, how you remove it. If you don't know that, please contact your gynecologist, or I don't usually recommend that people do a lot of searching online for things that they know that they want to use, because all information is not good information on the internet. If you can't get the information from your gynecologist, if you don't feel comfortable, I am saying that I am available to be reached, because sexual health is important. Vaginal dryness is common. It's more common than we expect. Women are suffering silently. That's not necessary. So those are three big categories of things that women can use for the vaginal dryness and the atrophy that may result as a result of menopause. These changes don't happen immediately as soon as you stop having your menstrual cycle. These changes tend to evolve over the years. Again, I will be talking the next time about estrogen and Mona Lisa touch. Take care.